Radaith Gaitnet Alamu. I'm a sophomore at the college from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I'm also the vice president of the African Student Association. Before I get to my question, just a quick thing. I wanted to say that I highly appreciate and I'm very inspired by your and your government's strong stance behind Ghana Beyond Aid and the need for African independence and unison. I wanted to ask about the free senior high school policy, which honestly sounds quite amazing. From my knowledge of rural Ethiopia and other African countries as well, it's my understanding that for the communities that are most affected by poverty, there lie several significant barriers that don't allow them to get to secondary school in the first place, regardless of there being a fee or not, such as having to help out their families with work, early marriage, having to walk a long and dangerous distance to school, sexual harassment, and so on. So I would like to know your initiatives in order to enable these communities to benefit from the free education that you've provided. Thank you.
Obviously, we have some structural problems that we have to overcome. In Ghana, the policy in 2017 and 2018, the 2 academic years that have been since the policy came into being, nearly 300,000 more students have had access to senior high school education than they had in the past, than they had in, say, 2016. But they're doing so with the same infrastructure, the same stock of schools and the same infrastructure. That, of course, means that very major challenges are being faced by this enhanced population. So the first matter that we're trying to tackle is infrastructure, to expand the existing school network so that they can absorb this population better. And then, of course, to build more schools. Because ultimately the issues you're talking about is to be able to have schools in virtually every part of the country so that people can access education, not just on paper, but in reality. That's a key aspect of it. Another, of course, is the pool of teachers, because it is the quality of the instruction that you get that makes education, even more so than the bricks and mortars that you have to be able to go to school. So we are having to pay a great deal of attention to it. Unfortunately, in recent years, those who made education their focus of studies, so many of them were unemployed and sitting at home. So we've started bringing them back into the educational, into the teaching stream. And that, of course, is providing us yet with another tool for dealing with this. But fundamentally, we need to put even more resources into the educational structure than we have been able to do up to now, in order to have this even spread of education across the country. In the meantime, one thing that we have been able to do, which is also having some impact, is that there's a deliberate effort to put people from, if you like, badly situated or underprivileged schools, a certain proportion of the population into the better endowed and the well-known and stronger schools in Ghana. You had phenomena last year where people in villages who had never dreamed that their children would go to the high-sounding schools in Ghana like Achimota or Wesley Girls or Fansipim or Holy Child. Villages going on for days of jubilation because one of their children had found their way to Achimota because of the system that has been established. So that is a corrective measure that is being used to make sure that we infuse some equity into the development of our secondary school system. But the problems that you have highlighted, ultimately we can only deal with it by having enough schools around the country. And that is something that is ongoing, but will not be solved overnight. I can't give you a more optimistic response than that, but it's a realistic one. But I believe that the problem is being identified and efforts are being made to deal with it.